Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the July 10th of 2018 edition of Our City. Hey, thanks for joining us here today in the Mayor's office at the Muscatine City Hall. It is a beautiful day, and first of all, we'd like to show you some highlights of the parade for Independence Day that we had on Wednesday, and then we'll get to our guests. The parade was the hottest day, I'm telling you. So much thanks to everybody that came out, all the people that were in it. These guys look awful hot in those gloves. All the people that helped to organize it, the Muscatine Chamber of Commerce, Susan Fulton worked so hard, they all did. But just putting everything together, it was so much work, but it sure was nice for everybody. And I was really surprised. I thought the turnout might be a little bit lower with it being so super hot. But everybody came out to watch everybody and cheer them on in the parade, and it was quite a lovely day. We had all kinds of fun with the parade, and you know, extra thanks to the people who worked to put together the Soapbox Derby and bring that event back to our community. Kelsey Brackett, Brian Steinman helped him, several other people really worked hard to put that event together. We've got a video clip on that we'll show here in just a minute. But I think we have a couple of more parade pictures that we wanted to share with you. I know there was a little bit of trouble viewing it later on cable channel. So we thought we'd show you just a few things. And here's the fireworks later that evening. They were magnificent. And I had so many different people call me and say that they were able to watch them from all over town. And that was so nice because I know folks were trying to be extra ambitious and find different places to watch them with the construction going on downtown. It was nice to be able to see them from all different places, but who doesn't love fireworks? One of my favorite fireworks stories is my husband and I were at Niagara Falls and on the 4th of July a few years back, and we couldn't wait to see the fireworks. So we went and walked over where they were going to be because they were going to do them over Niagara Falls. And we asked what time they were going to be at, and they were going to be at 10. So we had plenty of time to go get checked in the hotel and get all situated. And then we go back to Niagara Falls, and there's nobody there. And we're like, well, this is really odd. Well, we hadn't accounted for the time change. So they were all done and over while we were in our hotel taking our time. So we missed all the fireworks over Niagara Falls, but it was still a fun trip. Anyway. Thanks to everybody for all of that you did to put together a lovely Independence Day celebration for the city of Muscatine. Much, much appreciation goes out. And without further ado, we're going to get to our first guest. She is Amy Hessel, and she is the Character Development Director of the Muscatine Community YMCA, and she's been doing that almost 20 years. And she's here to talk to us about an upcoming fundraiser that and big annual event that the Y's doing now called Casino Night.
Casino Night. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I said I'm not usually nervous about these things, but for some reason I was a little nervous today.
Oh, don't be. We're just casual here. You know, we have so many folks at home that always say after an event, oh man, I didn't know about that, I didn't hear about that. So this is just a venue to get the information out there so everybody has it.
All right, yes. So I am here to talk about Casino Night.
Good.
It is a fundraiser for our Community Partners campaign.
Okay, what's that?
So our Community Partners campaign is what actually helps us fund all the outreach that we do in our youth and teen programs and our family program services. But it is also helps to give families in need scholarships to be part of the Y. We want to make sure at the Y that we're for everyone and everyone has an opportunity to be part of the Y, and so that does help fund some of those scholarships for our
that is so
patrons.
important to be able to have people from all over be able to come to the Y.
Yes, you know.
Great.
Yep, you can walk down the hall and there'll be people from all walks of life, all different things happening in their lives, and we can all meet together on the treadmills.
I always like to quote Mike Johansson. One time he said, well, more than once I think, I've heard him say, the Y is the place for diversity in our community because you can go to the exercise area and there will be a mother, a single parent mother that's doing the best she can, getting assistance on one treadmill and a judge or a captain of industry on the next, and they meet and converse just as equals, and how wonderful is that?
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yes, and I feel it every day too.
I do too. I love it. It just gives you goosebumps to think about it. The good work done there. So the casino night.
So this will be our second year. We are moving our venue this year. So we are set for Friday, November 16th, and we are going to be at the Muscatine Pearl Button Museum this year. So I'm very excited about having that different kind of atmosphere that will be going on. And I mean, when we were going through it and just seeing if this is going to work, we all were getting excited about all the opportunities that would happen and stuff. So if we get a really large crowd like we hope, we would be using both levels of the museum and just having a lot of fun that way. Sure. So one of the things that we're really working on doing right now is trying to get, of course, an event like this costs a lot of money to put together. Yes. And so we are looking for the support from the community for businesses, organizations to be part of this event.
Oh, and help sponsor.
Yes.
Sure.
So, of course, there's everything from food costs to decorations. Last year we rented some gaming tables, which we had hoped would be, but they were quite costly. And we found that they didn't necessarily add to the atmosphere.
Like Plinko.
Yes. Didn't necessarily add to the ambiance, but we want to look to purchase like felt tablecloths that will actually have the gaming tables.
Oh, like this, kind of like this
here.
Yeah,
so it look like that, but it's something that just goes on the table versus renting. And that, so we're looking for somebody who might be willing to sponsor the gaming table felts. Okay. Of course, advertising, we can do all we can in-house and invites and stuff, but it really does take the community to be talking about it and sharing it. And that's how we want to be able, so we need help with that.
Well, the whole idea, I think, is always that you want every dollar that you possibly can to go towards the cause, not towards putting on the event.
Absolutely. And being only our second year, we're still in the groundwork stage. So, we have a lot of work to do to be able to get it so that we're bringing in a lot more money than we want to, like we want to. So we have a little work to do, and that's kind of why we're here today. Is November's a long ways away when you look at it one way, but when we're starting to ask people to support events, we have to get started now.
So it's a casino night. What is that?
So it is. You're going to be gambling, but you're using Y bucks. We have printed money and part of your ticket, what your ticket costs, will get you some startup money. Okay. And then you can go and play blackjack. We had roulette and craps tables last year and poker. And it's just, I loved it because I don't play any of those things. And so I was able to go and play blackjack. Sure. And who cares if I lost? Because it was just... Right. It was just some fun money. Yeah. Sure. And so you get a chance to do those kind of activities. We did have a Plinko last year also, which was a huge hit for some of those non-gaming people.
So you don't have to be an ace gambler to be able to participate?
No. We do give prizes to those who win the most money, but that's not what it's about. It's just about money. It's about raising money, and it's about playing the game.
And a fun evening.
It is, and what I love about it, because anytime I have an opportunity to dress up in weird costumes, that's what I want to do.
So is there a theme?
So our casino night theme is The Great Gatsby. And so like last year we had almost everybody came dressed in that kind of attire and just had some fun from the headpieces to the dresses and all of that.
Well, maybe we can pull up a couple of pictures of people in their outfits. Because I remember last year, I was having a hard time thinking, okay, so what would I wear to this? What kind of things? I can see that everybody's got boas and different kinds of frilly stuff on, kind of like Roaring 20s type?
Absolutely, yes. Yep, the gangster hats and and just the fun dresses and lots of sparkles, I guess, was what I kind of noticed
gold
too.
And Yeah.
So yeah, I know I happened to find my dress for like $6 at JCPenney. So
Okay. There
but
you go.
I know Amazon did have a nice hit of people buying like headpieces and gloves and accessories and stuff. So
and Mel dressed up like the gangster there.
Yes. So it can be as simple as just putting, as simple as you want to go, or as lavish as you want to get.
Sure.
And
Just
I
a
like to go
funny
to the lavish end.
Yes, me too. And I think that somebody had on like the black gloves. And,
Yep. And the accessories like the long cigarette things and, I don't even know what they're called. But the entire event is just the atmosphere and just getting out and supporting a cause and having a really good time. And then, so even though November 16th seems like a long ways away, we're starting to really get into getting these sponsors in and trying to get these costs down for us, so that each of those ticket costs can all go to the Y. And
so what do they got to do to be a sponsor?
The best person to contact is Nicole.
Okay.
We're trying to just put everybody into one person. So Nicole McCleary is the one that we're asking people to kind of contact, and so she can just kind of get that information and get those things rolling, and we can send out invoices, or we can, if you just want to make a donation, you can just call and do that also. So we do have some forms that will go out too that will be available online and stuff that you'll be able to see here shortly also. And that way then, if that was the easiest way, some people need to have that hard copy to take to the supervisor, who writes the checks out. So the other thing that that's important for this is the dealers.
Yes.
And to make it as realistic as possible and to make it fun, but still not like
not intimidating in
yes,
any way.
Yes. So we had some great volunteers last year, and I know a couple of them will be back. But if there's like a service organization or a business out there that goes, you know what, I would really like to get our group involved, and we have poker nights all the time. Let's go and be dealers that night. So we're looking for volunteer dealers for the night too.
Could they be trained if they didn't know how to do
Yes.
Okay.
So last year we did have a gentleman come in that did some basic training with everybody. So you do need to know the game a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, blackjack's easy.
Yes.
Craps and roulette are not quite as easy, and poker you got to have some idea. But but if you know the game, you can easily jump in with this, hour training or so that we did. So
how much does it cost to attend the evening?
So right now we're looking at the $50 a person.
Okay.
And that's going to cover some startup gaming money, and it's going to cover food and appetizers throughout the evening. So
there'll be plenty of stuff that they'll get for their $50.
There'll be a cash bar.
Okay.
But you certainly will get your money's worth with this event.
So it's going to be at the History.
Yep, the Pearl Button.
The Pearl Button History and Industry Museum. What a neat venue! I love that.
Yeah, we're super excited just to have that kind of new atmosphere and stuff.
Sure.
There has been some pretty nice stuff going on down there, but it's not something that it's not the same as all other venues that are around that people use all the time. So
I can think of some interesting decorating with going up this, because the steps are right there.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So we'll be getting into all of that stuff
like
here.
Titanic even going down, because that'd be about the same time frame.
Yeah. So we'll be creative again.
Oh, sure. Well, have we left anything out? What about silent auction, raffles? Is there going to be any of that? Oh,
yes.
Wow, look at that mess.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know where you got that.
So we will be doing silent auction and raffles. And so if there's some items that you can get involved into, and just another way to add to the fundraising for that night also.
I would just like to emphasize, being someone who was there last year, the people that went left amazed at how much fun they had.
Yes.
So they thought it was going to be a nice evening to give back to the community, but they were people were just smiling and laughing the entire
Yes.
evening and
Yeah.
left happy.
Yep. And once the evening was over, the giving didn't stop. We had both of them, a couple of our winners actually donated back their membership to a family in need, and then
Oh, nice.
the winner of our trip did an auction and auctioned it off so that even more money went back into the partners
Sure.
campaign. So
how
it was just fun to see all of that still keep going and
Oh,
keep
sure,
going even
sure.
after the event. So
Muscatine is such a giving community. It never ceases to amaze me how much people want to help.
yes,
other
and you
people.
see that every day, whether you're walking down the street
Yeah.
or you're walking through the Y, you see all of those things happening.
You do. Very, very heartwarming. So I know we're going to have some kind of entertainment. We don't know quite
Right.
yet what that's going to be, but there'll be something coming up.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So feel free to keep your eyes peeled for what that's going to be coming up down the road.
We can't give everything away in July.
No. So right now, it sounds like you're looking for sponsors.
Yep.
You're looking for people to commit to being a dealer. Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for even silent auction
Okay.
grand prizes too. So
Okay.
For those top money winners,
Sure,
the grand
sure.
prizes. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that you can do to be part of this,
Sure.
and then be saving the date and getting it on your calendar so that when those tickets go on sale, probably right around the beginning of October or so, that you'll be ready to get those tickets.
Oh, sure. And I bet we have a ton more people come this year
I hope so.
because they'll be telling their friends how much fun they had last
I hope
year.
so.
And it'll be there. It'll be great. I'm so excited. I know we've talked a long time about having an annual signature event for the Y because we do so much to help families and children in the community. And when we did this last year, I know we all were just so pleased at
Yes.
finding something that was unique.
Yeah,
in
and
the
that was
community.
I think part of the reason why it took us so long is because you wanted something that was different and unique
Yes.
and that could potentially bring in some nice dollars too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and do good with those. And really, the way a lot of people might not know, but the way that the Y handles all of their programming and the funding that they get, they really stretch those dollars as far as they can so that they are much more valuable and can help a lot more people.
we do our best.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming.
having me.
Oh, I appreciate it. We'll have you back closer to the event because
All
people
right,
are
I'll
going to
look
want
forward
to
to
hear
it.
all the upcoming details. Well, as we're going to be getting ready to welcome our second guest, we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that's going to be upcoming, and that's the fair. July 18th, can you believe it, is going to be the West Liberty Fair again. So I wanted to go over some of the scheduling. They have just now released some of the stuff. I got a few things a couple of weeks ago, but I was trying to kind of hang back a little bit. So it starts on Wednesday the 18th, and that will be Kids Day. So on Wednesday is going to be Kids Day. They're going to have carnival stuff. They're going to have some FFA stuff and some interviews with the Queen. And at 7 p.m. in the grandstand is going to be Impact Pro Wrestling. And then Thursday is going to be Kids Day number 2. And there'll be a lot of shows. There'll be the swine show, the pet show, all different kinds of dirt bikes going on. And then in the grandstand is going to be on Thursday night, hang with me here, I missed it, FMX dirt bikes. You're not going to want to miss that, that's for sure. Friday is Senior Day, one of my favorites. 62 and older have free admission until 5 p.m. So hopefully that's a nice, cool weather day and everybody can have a good time on that. In the grandstand on Friday is going to be a big tractor pull. And then Saturday is going to be all kinds of shows, some dancing. The carnival's going to open. They're going to have a sweet corn eating contest, a ribbon auction, and then in the grandstand is going to be Adam Sanders. So that is going to be a day you're not going to want to miss. Sunday is going to be their last day, and it's going to be
the demolition derby. It's going to be some singing, some awards, some auctions, and Bill Riley talent show. So there's going to be a lot to offer at the Muscatine County Fair, and I urge all of you, if you have an opportunity, to get out there. I know we're all going to be praying for good weather so that everybody can have a really good time at the fair this year. Without further ado, I'd like to get to our next guest, and that is Mr. Bob Bromwell. He has been a spearhead, certainly him, and he had an entire team with him, but he worked very hard at saving and renovating and making sure that the Greenwood Cemetery steps are once again opened to the community here in Muscatine. And welcome, Mr. Bromwell.
Thank you. You know, there's nothing I'd like to talk more than the cemetery steps.
Oh, you betcha. You betcha. Oh, what an amazing project. How long did it take you to work on this project?
7 years.
7 years. What kind of devotion do you get from a volunteer? I bet you other organizations are going to want to scoop you up if you have that kind of tenacity.
Well, you know, I really had a good committee. I had Dave Metz, Paul Carroll, Nancy Panther, and Jan Knoll. And they stuck with me for the whole 7 years.
Amazing.
We had a real good working committee.
Oh, great. One thing that I really love about the cemetery steps, besides the wonderful, rich history of the steps, is the bricks that you have at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
There is 1,129 bricks engraved with not only people's names in memory of, some of them have their pet's name on it. One brick, I can remember this, it says, "It can only happen in Muscatine."
Oh.
And that's engraved on the brick. So it wasn't necessarily just in memory of somebody.
Sure.
It was anything that they wanted to put on there that was good.
Uh-huh. I saw even some like class of 19 whatever, what have you, different school graduation classes, right?
Yes, I had several of them in there. I would watch the paper, and when I'd see where the class of, just say 1954
Sure.
or whatever was having a luncheon someplace, I would go out and I'd ask them if I could just speak for a couple minutes. And I'd give them all that information. I said, "We'd really like to have a brick from your class in there."
That's
And
how you got. Oh, wow!
That's how we got.
Neat.
That's how we got some of them.
I started to say 1956. My dad graduated in 1956, and I've looked at a lot of those bricks up there, but I haven't seen a 1956. I'll have to ask him about that. But those are so nice. I could spend hours just going through up and down the bricks and reading them.
You know, with those bricks, I've had a lot of people call me and say, "I can't find my brick." And I ask them, I'll say, "Okay, who made out the order? Who was the one to put their name on it?" And they'll give me that, and I'll go back and check my records, and I'll find out what the brick says and how many of them there were, and then I can go out, and I have found every brick that somebody has asked me that they said that they couldn't find.
Yeah.
We have found every one of them.
Well, it takes a while. There's a lot. 1,129, right?
Yes.
Which brings me to, how many steps are there, Mr. Bromwell?
According to the kindergarten class from Franklin School, there was 221.
Wow.
And I've counted them, and I've come up with 222, 223, and 224. So they're right in the ballpark. And it's that old story that's been around for years, that if you count the steps going up, you get one figure, and if you count them going down, you get another one.
I've heard that all my life.
Believe me, I cannot explain it. We have walked every step, and I said, okay, I've even taken a piece of chalk and written on the steps what number it is, and the blueprints just does never match what number the step is.
Isn't that something? Wow.
So
I'm interested to hear, I know we had this, the grand opening. When was the grand opening? Do you recall the exact?
no, I don't recall.
I don't
the
either.
exact
It was in March, wasn't it?
March, yes.
And it was such a wonderful day. It was a beautiful weather day, and the children came over from Franklin School, and they all walked up the steps, and one on each step, and helped count the steps, and we did the ribbon cutting and grand opening. And at that day, I remember you talking about putting together some kind of a plaque that's going to explain the steps. Have you got to that yet?
We have got it. We've got it pretty well done. We are waiting on there's a committee here in town that is doing something for historical restoration projects, and we want to have the same type of sign that they've got.
Okay,
And so
so that's a good
waiting on
idea.
them. We wanted to be so that we could be all the same.
Oh, I love
That way people
idea.
will know that, hey, it's a historical site, and that
Yes.
way they'd be looking for it.
Sure.
But we've got it ready to go.
I love that, how you're trying to have how everything matches and have everything flow well. That's a great idea, and I know you've worked with the city to make sure that that's maintained, and you got continuity going through the years, and so these are going to be around for a long time for future generations.
I sure hope so. They've been there over 100 years now, so I hope they're there for another 100.
Yes.
So
I remember my grandpa telling stories. I remember reading stories about guys that lived on West Hill that worked down on the island, they called it at the time, and they would walk down those steps and carry their lantern because it was still dark, and they'd leave it at the bottom of the steps and go on to work, and when they came back in the evening, they'd pick up their lantern and carry it up the steps and get themselves home, and lots and lots of family stories about those steps.
I have had more stories than I can imagine, and we've had contact from people from Germany that lived here in Muscatine all their life. They're in Germany now. We've had them from Hawaii. We've had them from, just you name it, all over the whole United States. We've had people call and order bricks and call and comment on it, and it's been a wonderful experience in that.
Oh, I think any time that we can preserve our history for the future, isn't that something we always want to do?
It's great.
It is.
And back to those kids when they walked up the steps. The committee said, I don't know how you're going to pull this off, because we didn't know whether we was going to have 20 kids or whether we was going to have 50
200,
or 70.
yeah,
we
who
didn't
knows?
Know, We
Sure.
didn't know for sure. I said, we'll work it. I said, it'll work. And the teachers that day, man, they was just...
Oh, they were amazing.
They were amazing.
Yes.
They were just great.
And Mr. Wester, the principal, came
Yes.
and they were all in on it.
It was great.
It really was. It was a great day, and I think that the kids had a good time. And good to get them into the picture.
Well, and I invited them to have their mom and dad, grandma and grandpa's, aunt and uncles to come out with them.
And there were lots.
Walk the steps. And there's everybody that has walked the steps say how much they appreciate it, and it's really nice.
You know what? I've heard of a lot of people, everybody's trying to get healthier. A goal that we all should have and do have to try to do a better job being healthy. And I've heard of a lot of people that use those steps as an exercise regimen, running up and down those steps. How many times could you do that?
Well,
not many.
In the last few years, I would hate to count. I never kept track of how many times I was up and down them steps.
Wow.
But I know that it made me feel better all the time that I was doing it.
Sure.
I have to stop sometimes and get my breath, but
sure.
Oh yeah, it was just number of times. I don't know how many.
And it's really nice. You've got the really nice rails to hold on to, so folks don't have to be worried about that. They can hold on to the rails and get up. And there's a bench at the bottom, and there's a bench at the top, so they can stop and take a rest.
Yes, and that hand railing, I don't remember the guy's name, but we had it made from Davenport. They come down and they build it all on site. And
wow.
That took, but he said, it'll only take us about 2 weeks. And they was done in 2 weeks. I couldn't believe how fast they put it together.
Wow.
So.
And I know you had a great deal of support and contributions and in-kind cooperation from the community. Was it Martin and Whitaker's? Did they help you a lot?
Oh, Martin Whitaker's, they did all the surveying for us. Oh, they did numerous things out there. Whenever we needed something, they was right there to help us out, and couldn't ask for better support than that.
Isn't that great?
And I don't want to miss anybody, but there was so many.
Oh, I know, you couldn't possibly. And so you don't even want to start listing, because what if you forget someone?
It just goes on and on
Sure,
and on of how many people that we had help us.
It just goes to what I was just talking about on our earlier guest, Amy Hessel. the community wants to help. They want to contribute and do wonderful things like this. We are a very
Yes.
giving community, and that we're so fortunate.
There's a lot of people out there that are willing to help if you just knock on their door or give them a phone call.
Yes.
They're ready to help.
That's right.
It's unbelievable.
And the historical things. I know we have a very active historical group in Muscatine that work on buildings and different things. Mike Meharry, I think, is the president or right now. But just preserving our heritage is so important. One of the best moments of my life was always just sitting and listening to my grandparents tell stories of how Muscatine used to be, and the blizzard of 1938 and all the different things that they went through. I've heard the blizzard of 1938 many times, and the story of the day when the big storm came in and all the duck hunters died, got caught in it and died. You probably have heard that one too.
One of my favorite stories about the cemetery was it was back, there was a bunch of kids and they always played in the cemetery. And they said one night we was playing hide and go seek, and he said, I went around the one tombstone, and he said, I didn't know that they had dug a grave for the next day. They had it open and they didn't close it at that time, didn't put anything over it. He said, I fell in that, and he said, I just knew that those ghosts and everybody out there was, he said, they were just pulling me down. And he said, I hollered at the kids and hollered and hollered. And he said, they come over and they looked at me and they laughed and laughed. And he said, the only way I could get out of there was, he said, there was a young kid with us by the name of Slim Latimer. And he was a little over 6 foot tall, thin as a rail. And they hung him over so that they could get a hold of the guy that was in there and pull him up out of there. I said, did you ever go back and play hide and go seek in there? Oh, he said lots of times.
Oh, really? Well, it didn't scare him that bad then.
No,
oh, my goodness.
But that was one story that really sticks out.
Oh, I bet. Well, is there anything to look forward to with the steps then? We've got the big signs coming in. Is there going to be one at the top and one at the bottom?
Yes, there will be one top and bottom, yes.
Okay. Well, we can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Brownwell, for all of your hard work and your perseverance and seeing these through it. Doing volunteer work can be so rewarding, but it still is work.
It's work. No matter how you do it, it's work.
It still is work.
Yes.
And so I thank you for your time and the wonderful gift that you've given to the community.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And if there's anything in the future that we need to know, give us a holler, and we'll be happy to get the information out to the folks at home.
That sounds
All
good.
right.
That sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we'll go ahead and move into our closing for the night. We have what? Soapbox Derby. Why don't we do that? We didn't get a chance to do that at the beginning of the show, so why don't we show you a video clip of the Soapbox Derby that we had on Independence Day. My monitor quit working, so I can't see anything.
Buddy. Stinky Philpott and Zombie Squad. Victorious. That was quick, friends. I told you it was going to get fast. Troy, Stinky Philpott and Zombie Squad. Victorious.
Thanks for sticking around. My name's Tony Tone, Muscatine Soapbox Derby on Facebook. MuscatineDerby.com is the website. Thanks to all the volunteers that have hung around all day. It's been a long day, but a fun day, and everybody got a free tan, so that works out well. And again, all of the hay bales that you see here will be going to the Ag Learning Center, courtesy of Monsanto. We appreciate their support.
Hey, you missed that one. Oh my goodness, don't do that to me. Did you see what happened? They got squirrely big time. Yeah, a little bit. At first I thought you were going to take the cone out the whole time. Did you almost go? Oh, I had her on two wheels. Holy crap.
You can again stream all of this or rewatch it later.
Well, as you can tell, they had a very good time. And I know there were a lot of people that came down to watch them, and they all had a good time as well. Lots of hay bales around, keeping everybody safe, but it sure was a great event. And so hot, but everybody made the best of it, and it was really worth it. Well, I'd like to just remind you all and share that next week our guests are Bonnie Nichols with MCSA, and she's going to talk to us about the various programs that they have. We also have Dale McCrae, who is the Muscatine County Assessor, and he's going to explain to us what his job entails and what we all need to know about taxes, our property taxes here, how they all work and how they fit together to be able to provide all of the services that we all look forward to receiving. On this Thursday is the in-depth Muscatine City Council meeting at 7 in the council chambers upstairs on the 3rd floor. And prior to that is the monthly business after hours. That's going to be from 5 to 7 at Trinity Hospital. And any Muscatine Chamber of Commerce member is welcome to attend that. And then finally, I would like to share that this coming Saturday, July 14th, is Second Saturday. So there's the Muscatine Second Saturday event, and they are going to be having a theme called Summer Games. There'll be vendors, there'll be shopping, there'll be all kinds of things and fun that you can have with your family. I know they're going to have some t-shirts for sale. They're going to have some raffle prizes for a Hawkeye wave table, all kinds of fun things. So grab your family and come on down to Second Saturday on July 14th, and you will have a great time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week here in our city in the Muscatine Mayor's office. Have a good week.
Our City with Mayor Diana Broderson replays on MPW Channel 9, Wednesday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and Thursday at 7 a.m. Of course, we're live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook. Email us at ourcity@muscatineiowa.gov.